Well, good afternoon, everybody.
Live. My name is Greg Tracer, and I am the managing director at Edge Studio. And first of all, thank you so much for your patience. Um, Even the experts sometimes have trouble with technology, and it's a good thing that we have George Whittam with us at all times because he was able to save our bacon on this one. So, George, thanks very much for your assistance. Today's presentation, We're Not in VoiceOver Kansas Anymore, is being presented by Bob Merkel. And Bob Merkel is the president and chief technology officer of VoiceZam.com. He's got a background in theater, film, systems engineering, software architecture, which you got to admit is a bit of an unusual background for both left brain and right brain thinking there. He's designed and programmed automation and process control systems for companies like Sony and Coca-Cola and Timex and Sara Lee and Ocean Spray. He's a former producer and director and writer. He worked for the Milwaukee ad agency that oversaw the broadcast production for all of the stuff for Kohl's department stores, and other retail stuff. So Bob started VoiceZam originally because he was trying to cast people for these Kohl's department store ads and found the whole process really less than optimal, really difficult to manage. And he had this idea for VoiceZam all the way back in 2002. And ever since, he's been working on building and improving the VoiceZam product. He is from Brookfield, Wisconsin. He's based out of Brookfield, where he lives with his wife, Debbie, but he's joining us live from Studio E at Edge Studio in New York. Bob, welcome. So good to see you here today.
Thanks very much for that great introduction, Graham, and thank you, George Whittam, for pulling the levers behind. I don't know, I might be sharing my screen, so can you see me at this point?
Yeah, we can see you, Bob.
Excellent. Well, what a pleasure to be here. And yes, I am in the wonderful E studio of Edge Studio. It's nice and quiet in here. And maybe you can see some of the background there, folks going by. It was a great pleasure to be here. I got in yesterday, and I'm so happy to be with you and to do a presentation for Edge. So thank you again for allowing me to be here. By the way, I don't know if we're set up for doing any Q&A. Sorry, not Q&A, but posting questions. I think we are. If you get questions during this presentation, feel free to ask them. I think Graham is going to be handling all those, and he'll interrupt me, and we'll get those answered for you. So let me share my screen again.
Yeah, Bob, just to update folks, there is a chat box to the right of the presentation. And if you just want to put your stuff in there, we'll be glad to pass your questions along.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Graham. So today is about we're not in VO Kansas anymore, Toto. And I love this picture of Dorothy because she's like, what is going on? If you'll remember in the movie, this is where it goes from black and white into color. And when I was a kid, I would watch that, and it was just amazing. So I hope you're amazed today. You're going to learn some things about voiceover. I'm going to give you some background on the demo and how it came to be. I'm going to give you a background on some of the technology about that. But a lot of it is going to be about VoiceZam and introducing it to you. Some of you are probably new to it. Some of you have heard about it already. I'm sure you'll learn some new things. But at the end, my goal is to make sure that you have a thorough knowledge of what VoiceZam is and how valuable it is and where it fits into your VO career. So without that, let's get going. I'm going to flip the screen here. Okay. Well, this is a quick poll, and I usually do polling and we get some answers, but I want you to do this in your own mind. Think about, what do you know about VoiceZam? Have you heard about it? I've heard about it, and that helps me get some idea. Since I can't hear you, I'm just going to channel all those thoughts, and I'd say maybe 50% of you have heard about it, and some of you have never heard about it. So I'm going to ask you a question. Do you click on YouTube's skip ad button? Do you click on it? Maybe you do it always, maybe you do it sometimes, maybe you do it never. And the poll would usually say, of course we do. Who likes to wait? who even likes to wait 4 seconds, which is what they make you wait until you can actually click it? Well, I don't. And producers are exactly like you. And I'll give you a little insight into their brain. They don't like waiting. And when they have to wait while listening to your demos, there's a good chance they're going to get frustrated. And frustration can lead to them moving on to other demos, to them skipping around to different places in your demos and possibly missing some audio. So we're going to try and correct that. In fact, we already have corrected this with VoiceZam. We hate to wait. Producers are no different. So how does VoiceZam address this? If producers don't like waiting, how can VoiceZam answer the call to make it easier for them? Well, we have to start looking at the anatomy of a voiceover demo. And I'm going to play this presentation here. It takes about a minute plus, and that'll give you some you know what? For the sake of time, because we lost a little time, you can see this on our website. If you go to voicezam.com, you can watch this, and it's going to give you some background on how VoiceZam fixes the problem. But I'm going to actually demonstrate that for you today. So look at this. Producers give up around 20 seconds, right? That's what we're told. But why? Why are they doing that? This is your demo. You want them to hear all of it. This is your business calling card as a voiceover artist. So what can be done about that? Well, let's look at how the industry has tried to change to fix this. They say shorten your demo. And I'm hearing on the West Coast that demo should be no longer than 45, 50 seconds. And so, well, that's cool. They're asking you to share less of yourself. And it never made sense to me. So I'll show you how we're going to solve that in a bit. Make it a story. So what we do is during the production of the demo, we try to make one read, as we call them, or segment lead into another. And that tends to make it interesting. But is that really holding the producer's attention? I'm not sure. They create interesting transitions. So now one read leads into another with creative transitions. Well, these are all interesting ways to approach this problem of shortening the demo. But I got another question. Maybe we can improve the demo by saying, here's a thought. The problem's not the demo. The problem's not the demo. We keep pointing at the demo. What is it? It's the player. It's always been the player. A linear track player, as you know it, and I will show you this, is the wrong fit for a voiceover demo. So let's see a comparison of why that's a problem. I'm bringing up our little test website. We use a guy named Joey Speakeasy, fictitious character, VO person. And really, these reads that you're going to be hearing are the voice of the great Bob Sauer. So Bob Sauer, thank you for allowing us to use these audio clips. So here we have what I call the traditional linear playback player, okay? This is the traditional player that everybody uses in voiceover until they met VoiceZam. So I'm going to play it.
It's shiny, it's blue, and it's beautiful. Blue Sky from American Express, the #1 prescribed out.
There, you just heard the transition, all right? Let's look at it. It's the same thing on VoiceZam.
It's shiny, it's blue, and it's beautiful. Blue Sky from American Express, the #1 prescribed allergy medicine is...
See what happened? With here, you have one clip leading to another in a linear fashion. Here, it's like iTunes. Each of the clips are broken out into their separate tracks. This is the fundamental difference of the VoiceZam presentation versus linear presentation. And why is that key? Well, let me go back to my other screen here. The industry keeps attacking your demo, and I've just demonstrated that the player it's a better presentation. Let's see. I forgot one step here, and there we go. So I'm a producer, right? And I start this playback here, and it starts playing. And what if I don't like that read? And when I say I don't like it, it means it doesn't match my project that I'm looking for. They probably like your voice, and that fits the project, you know, the characteristics of your voice. But maybe that particular delivery or voicing of that read didn't work for them. Well, instead of waiting the 7, 8, maybe 9, 10 seconds to get to the next read, in VoiceZam, they can just click and skip. So
It's shiny.
no, I don't like that.
The number one prescribed allergy
I don't like that
medicine.
one.
So watch the Super Bowl on Sunday.
That one
But
works.
until
I like
then,
that one. Why is this important? Well, if they try, think of it this way. They are held hostage here, passively listening, where over here they're engaging with their demo. And they can go back, they can review it,
so
they
watch
can
the Super Bowl
download
on
specific reads if they want. Over here, and I did this as a producer, you're trying to find the next read, and it's frustrating because if you don't hear the beginning, that's important, or you skip the end, that's important. This is just kind of a passive player that they just have to sit there and listen. Here they can engage. Okay, I think we got it. So let's move on. But you say, well, it's been like this for years. Yes, it has been like this for years, especially when I was working in voiceovers. We were kind of halfway to the point of where the industry is now, but it's always been the same.
Bob, can you hear me?
I can.
Just a quick question. Demona is asking, is your player autoplay? And I'm not sure if she means, does it autoplay from segment to segment, or if she means that when you've put the VoiceZam player onto my website, and someone goes to my website, does it autoplay as soon as someone goes to that page?
Excellent. Let's talk about the segments first, okay? The segments are seamless. So if I closed my eyes and started both players at the exact same time, it would sound exactly the same, okay? You can optionally autoplay the player on your website or not autoplay it. A lot of people don't autoplay it because you know how unnerving it can be when audio just starts playing somewhere and you don't know where it is. But if you want that, you've got that option. Okay? Okay, great question. So you say it's been like this for years. What it's been like this linear playback. Well, you're right. How can it be broken? Well, let's look. This is where it all started. Actually, it started. George knows it started before this, but linear playback started with reel-to-reel tape recorders, and I wasn't around, but people would actually send out their demos on this here little reel here. That's why they called them reels. We call them reels today in some circles, probably more in New York and on the coast. But this is where it started. You actually put your demo onto a reel-to-reel tape and sent it out. And it was linear because you would load up the tape, thread it through the capstan, put it on the take-up reel, hit play, and there you go, linear, okay? And that was probably late 50s, I think, when that came about. Then somewhere around the way, maybe in the late 60s, we ended up with something called an 8-track tape player. There was a 1/4-inch tape with 4 tracks on it, actually 8 tracks, 4 tracks of stereo. And I don't think demos were ever put out this, but it's interesting nostalgia. And here's my 1974 Pinot that actually had this particular 8-track player in it. I thought that was interesting too. Then we went to cassettes, and look at it, it's still linear. So just like the reel-to-reel in a miniature version, the tape came over here, went by, and if you wanted to find the next track, you had to hit fast forward on that little cassette dep on your desk. Fun, early 70s. Then in the mid 80s, we finally got a chance to go track to track, and the industry blew it because what they did is they took the full composite commercial demo and put it on a single track. So there was no way to skip from one segment to the other on this demo or this demo. They just broke it up in the track. So it was a missed opportunity, and we had drink holders too at that time during the mid 80s. Okay. So here we are today, still linear, still frustrating. So that's a problem. And why is that a problem? Well, the record industry figured out that tracks are important a long time ago because each track demonstrated a different variation of the artist's abilities. And so now, where's the record industry? Well, they went to iTunes, which are separate tracks. They've never been trackless unless for some reason the record was made trackless, which I'm sure some creative artists may have done in the past. But here we are. And here's a little nostalgia for you. And George, I don't know if you can weigh in, not right away, but if you know what this is, I'm sure you'll say it. Does anybody know what this is? See, go ahead and pop it into the feedback to Graham there if you know what that is.
Wire recorder.
George, I said wait. Okay, for the sake of time, he's exactly right. This was a wire recorder. And predates the reel-to-reel tape decks. So you'd have a spool of wire here, and look at it, it's almost a little bigger than a hair. And you would have a take-up reel here, and the thing would go real fast. I owned one of these, and actually the quality wasn't so bad. But 60 years ago, linear, and we're still there. So that's a problem. Okay, so you see how that VoiceZam solves this problem that's been around forever. And isn't it funny how something can just be the way it is because nobody challenges it? And I did, and producers love the engaging player. And so that's what VoiceZam is all about. Okay, another poll. I just have to channel your thoughts to me. What's the perfect running length for my demo? Absolutely less than 1 minute, like the coasts say. About a minute, little over is okay. Any length you want, okay? All right, votes are in. Most people say about a little okay, maybe about a 1 minute, and some will say this. So you get maybe about 60, 70, 80% in this area, maybe another 10 here, and nobody goes here. Well, as you might guess, the answer is any length. And how could that be? That's kind of crazy. People tell you it's 1 minute, period. How can that be any length? Well, here's good old Bill Ratner on the West Coast. Bill does a lot of movie trailers. I'm sure you've heard his commercials and his movie trailers. He's a great guy. I've met him several times, and he loves VoiceZam. But anyway, look at these tracks, okay? This track is, I think it's a full 30-second trailer spot. So let's play it.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned.
From Joel and Ethan Coen,
Here at Capitol Pictures, millions of
Doesn't
people
tell us,
look
but
to us for entertainment.
creators of The Big Lebowski.
Same thing here, Marvel and
He is the man with a plan.
And Bill understands what he's doing here. Same thing.
Ever wonder why you feel the way you do?
How can that be? Because this is his whole demo. Here's how it can be. Think about it from a producer standpoint, and that's how this player was designed. Having been a former producer, I tried to build in all the barriers that a producer faces and eliminate them. And so I'm a producer. I come to this page, and I play track number 1.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned.
From Joel and Ethan.
And okay, maybe I'm not listening to Bill Ratner, but of course I'd hire him right away, maybe if I'm doing my trailer. But 4 seconds in, and most producers will not listen more than 4 to 6 seconds without moving on because they've got it. They've done this 1,000 times and they know what these voices are all about. So I don't like this voice. It doesn't work for me. So I skip.
He is the... Ever wonder why you feel the way
I like
you do?
that. I like that attitude. I like that delivery. Now, what happens? I listen to the full 30-second spot. And why is that important? Producers are listening to the opening, yes, but they're also listening for how you nail the product, how you jump on the product and say the product name, your breath control, your ending consonants, the close. All those things are important to a producer, and so they're going to want to listen to that within this segment. But if it's just an 8-second clip or 10-second clip, they can't. But if you give them 30 seconds, they can listen to it. But they still have the option to skip if they want to. They can go back and listen to the full thing or skip. That's how we break the 1 minute barrier, which says you can't have anything more than a minute. You can have any length, okay? VoiceZam solves that. Okay, so that's cool. So let's look, what is VoiceZam? Let's do a deeper dive into what VoiceZam is all about. And by the way, before I jump there, I want to show you something I didn't show you. And that is, we've got the title. We also show all your demos here in the player. So if I want to hear your narration.
Rheumatoid arthritis is... They could be our mother.
And this is important because a lot of producers will say, yeah, you can do commercial, but, or she, have they tried any documentary, or I'm looking for promo or retail or something like that. So we feature all the demos. We also feature your contact information. All your social media information is here. So if you click on that, it goes to your social media, and your representation is there as well. All your agents and representation, or if they want to contact you directly, we've got Joey Speaky. Isn't that a cool microphone? Everybody uses it. Sorry. Okay. All right, so let's see VoiceZam at work. I'm going to log in as good old Joey Speakeasy. And I'm also going to bring up Joey's Speakeasy's really tricked out website. Wait till you see it. There it is. It's a microphone, and it looks like a Neumann to me, I'm assuming. So let's say that Joey just got a new documentary read, okay, and he wants to put it into his demo lineup. Well, with VoiceZam, it's pretty easy. Now, you know the routine at this point. You have to perhaps mix a new demo, call your webmaster. I mean, put that all together. So I'm going to show you how we can do it, hopefully in under a minute. So I'm going to click documentary. I'm going to say add media, or click add media, not say it. I'm going to select the file, and here's my new file. I'm going to double click that. I'm going to save it. And it's uploading, and here it is, and it's set offline. So let's say I want to put that at the top. What I did is I unlocked this demo so I could work on it. That way I don't make any mistakes while it's locked. So I'm going to move this up to the top, set it online. Oh, by the way, so you see that there's nothing up my sleeve. I'm going to go to the documentary here and play it. I might be having some bandwidth issues here, which I don't think I should have. Oh, it's offline. I did that by mistake because, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go back. I moved a little too fast for myself. I'm going to put this down here, set it offline, lock it up. The reason you can't see the documentary demo is the demo's offline, so we don't even allow you to put it online until you lock it up. All right. So rewind. Let's go back. I'm going to choose the documentary demo. There they are.
He was barely out of boyhood. Greatness is...
Okay. I'm going to go back to VoiceZam, unlock the demo, move it up to the top, put it back online, lock it up. And what lock it up it means is it's creating the seamless playback between all your reads, so it plays perfectly. Go back here, refresh. Go
Rheumatoid arthritis.
There it is. There's my new read. Now that was certainly over 1 minute because I made a mistake, but you get the idea. It's very easy to update your demos on your website and in your showcase. So we just did adding a read. Let's talk about creating a ZAM link. What is a ZAM link? I'm going to show you. When you send out your demo in VoiceZam, you're actually sending out the player. Now you can send out MP3s using VoiceZam if you want, but a lot of producers are kind of thrilled to get this cool player when you send out your demo. So I'm going to go to the commercial demo. I'm going to click on the gear icon and say create a ZAM link. And I'm going to call VZ123 in the tracking code, and this has to do with Zamtistics. And so what you do is you send out this link in an email. This is the link to your demo. And what I mean by that is it's actually a link to your player, but the commercial demo is going to play first. So let me demonstrate that.
It's shiny.
There you go. So you send them this link. This comes up with the commercial demo. So they immediately hear the commercial demo. Now, what can they do? Well, they can click on more demos and hear your other ones. They can download, if they want, any read. So let's say, I'll let this one play.
The #1 prescribed allergy medicine is now available. So watch the Super Bowl on Sunday, but until then, the legend is real.
I'm doing this for a reason.
Stunning to after 8.
So let's say they like Super Bowl Sunday. I'm going to download just that read, okay? And so here it is. And if I play it back.
So watch the Super Bowl on Sunday.
Notice how it's labeled, Joey Speakeasy, Super Bowl on Sunday. Now they can take that to their client and show them that's the example read that they would like to use on their project. They can also download your demo. So if I click on download demo.
It's shiny.
There it is. It embeds my logo, which looks a little squished because we just came out with that. Without that, we just came out with that feature where it embeds your logo. And then it says Joey Speakeasy commercial demo, so it's titled for them. And so that's how you send out your demo. And you can also send out any demo that you want. Okay, so let's see what's next. Going back to PowerPoint. All right, you can also, and I'm hitting the high points on this. There's actually much more to this than I'm showing you. And we've got a lot of videos out there on YouTube if you'd like to see how some of this works in depth. So let's talk about customizing your player. We've come out with different ways of customizing the player. It's very customizable. It's all CSS based. And so you can actually bring your own CSS file, if you know what that is, cascading style sheets, and change the player quite radically. So here's Jody Kringle. Excuse me, my voice is cracking. Jody Kringle. Is she in Toronto? I believe she is. Graham would know.
At Farm Fresh, you want the best prices, especially on the groceries you need. It's Macy's California
thing going on for Jody. Here's her more demos, her contact information. She has lots and lots of representation. So this is a great way that she has matched the player to her website.
Bob, can I just pop in for a sec?
Yeah, please.
First of all, yes, Jody is proudly a proud Torontonian.
Excellent.
The second thing is a question: is it possible to have two players on the same page? And the Mona is asking because she offers voiceover services in two different languages. So she might have a set of demos for English and a set of demos for Spanish, as an example.
Excellent question. We get that all the time. So yes, absolutely. But there's one caveat. If you use one VoiceZam account to do that, you can. And let me go to my little demonstration site here. Where did that go? So let's say you had two VoiceZam players side by side, okay? This one could feature English, and this one could feature, did you say Spanish? I think you said Spanish. And so what that means is you can launch the player with a specific demo shown first. So instead of commercial, let's say it says commercial English here.
It's shiny.
On this one, you could have it launch commercial Spanish if that was your language. Absolutely. The only caveat is this. Because it's the same VoiceZam account, all the media would be the same back here if they ever clicked on more media, and the players would have the same motif, the same styling and theme. Now, if you really like some people do medical, and they like to keep their medical business completely separate than their commercial business. So they'll have actually two completely different websites. And so what that requires is two different VoiceZam accounts. And the reason we do that is that we think of it as two personas. So if you are projecting out into the production world two differing personas, then that requires two accounts. But then you can have as many different medias as you want on either player, and the players can actually be themed differently. I hope that answers it for you.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Bob.
Sure. So we're looking at player customization. Here's Joe Cipriano. He's on the West Coast, and you hear Joe's voice on many promo stuff. And you can see that his player, which is coming in soon, fits right here and fits his website perfectly. Joe is the voice of Fox. I still think he's the voice of Fox, so that's pretty cool. Laura Schreiber. Now, this is something cool. We just came out with a new player. And let me tell you the background on this, because I think it's important. So here, this actually is a VoiceZam player, and I'm not going to demonstrate it yet until I tell you the rationale behind it. You know, when you go to the VoiceZam player, and it looks like, whoops, get rid of, I'm having trouble clicking on tabs because the little zoom thing keeps coming down. Okay, so here's the VoiceZam player. And if you'll notice, it's very vertical. And some people have reacted to that. Now, it's very vertical for a reason. It was designed to work on desktops, but also because a lot of the world is moving to the mobile platform. If you look at it, this is designed perfectly for, I think it was the Apple 6 or Apple 5 or 6. But anyway, it's 16 by 9 format, fits perfectly into a mobile device. It also fits into a tablet, and as you can see, it fits on the desktop. But when you and I look at a desktop, we are in landscape mode. Look at it's 16 by 9 this way. It's turned 90 degrees. So we wanted to give, and some people react to that. They say this looks more like a jukebox. Well, that's fine. I mean, that's what iTunes is really. But some people reacted to this look. So what we wanted to do is come out with a style that fits more of a landscape layout. And that's what this new player is. So let me demonstrate it for you. I'm going to click on play.
Have you heard the best kept Disney secret? Disney Vacation Club offers you an affordable way to Earth. Well, all right. Discover the secret. Does your makeup remover take it all off? Give to the children. Listen, your period comes for a limited time only at your hunt. Know how you can earn the title World's.
So it has all the VoiceZam read-based functionality in it. It also has all your demos. If you want to see all the demos, they click on narration and start narration. It also has the contact information here, and we can click on whoever we want and get that contact information. And we also have all the social media, including Instagram, which we added, I don't know, a couple months ago. So that's a cool look and feel, fully customizable, fully landscape. Now, then you say, I know somebody's out there asking, okay, that's landscape. Well, how does that work for a phone? Well, let's take a look. And as soon as I grab my Chrome browser, watch what happens. Here's the tablet layout. Here's the phone layout. It's fully responsive, just like our other players. Okay. Let's take this down. Show you one more time without the contact panel in the way. There it is. And it doesn't get any narrower than that, because that is the narrowest that the phones go at this point. But it still works just fine.
Parents of children with special needs. The playful North American river otter is...
That's right. It needs to come into the space that it's in, and then it will play. There it is.
Have you heard the best kept? Does your makeup remover take it? Give to the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia.
So that is our, I don't know what we're calling, landscape player, I guess, something like that. It should have got a cooler marketing name, but I don't know, we couldn't think of one. We're still in customization. So here's Dave Crevassier, the ultimate blogger who never sleeps. And his player fits his site perfectly. Blue player, blue buttons. These blue buttons are pretty cool. I'm going to demonstrate those probably right now. So why does it look like this? Let me narrow this a bit. There's two basic groups of people who will come to your website. There's other breakdowns, but from a I guess a demographics point of view, you're going to have people who have been in the industry for a long time, and they're not necessarily used to the new media that's coming out, or the new media presentation styles that are coming at them. What I mean is this player. So they're going to be looking for these big buttons to click on, because that's what they're used to. Well, if I click TV promo,
the older you get, the more things change.
Automotive, there's automotive. So what's happening is these buttons are triggering the demos within this player. And that is satisfying that audience over here. Now, the millennials will come here, or that age group, and they'll know what to do right now. I mean, they see the play button.
I've always considered right, San Antonio,
because they're familiar with this style of layout. They'll find more demos. They'll know that contact is always in the upper right. So this satisfies both sides of the demographics equation, at least as it applies to producers. And finally, Melissa Axelberth. Melissa's got a really a very strong characteristic site. So if I click promo,
A kidnapped baby. A botched bank job. You won't believe.
And she's got also something else we did for her here. When she says more demos, the player comes up and it actually features all these different demos she has. So imagine sending out all these demos all at one time. Well, now we put it in a little compact player that you can send out called VoiceZam. Okay, so that's customizing your player. I think you get it. Let's talk about the add-on features. So the way VoiceZam works, and we're going to look at pricing in a minute, and I'll just give you a heads up. Pricing is based on a monthly base price, and then a la carte, you can add on different add-ons. So we're going to look at some of those now. So poll time. Again, channel your answers to me. I know when the tracks within my demos are being heard. So I'm wondering, I think 90% of the people out there probably don't know when their tracks are being heard. VoiceZam has a built-in mechanism of analytics to see when not only your demos are being heard, but actually the tracks within the demos, and it's called Zamtistics. Let me demo that for you right now. Here's my Zamtistics. And by the way, as I've been playing back on Joey Speakeasy's website, I've been tracking those clicks in Zamtistics, and you can see, look at that, my hits went up today. That's pretty cool. So let's see what happened. Way back, here's New York, New York, where the first hit happened. I clicked on it. It's shiny, it's blue. I listened to 9 of 9 seconds for 100%, and it told me a demos page for Joey Speakeasy, which is my website. And that was played on a desktop as well. We show you mobile or tablet. And then after that, I clicked on read number 2, and I stayed 2 out of 9 seconds, which was 24%. And I don't want to bog you down in the details, but you get the idea. Then I sent out a Zam link, and some of that was sent back to me when it was clicked. And then these blue ones mean that somebody actually downloaded a read from the Zam link and the demo from the Zam link. So not only do I see the clicks, I see the downloads, and those are important. I think, you know, if somebody's going to download your read or your demo, that's pretty important to see. And now I want to show you one more thing, and that is our mapping feature. So here is Joey on the map, and Joey Speakeasy, as you can imagine, is a test account, so it doesn't get out of the house often in terms of the world, but we got a few pins out there. He's actually on some sites. But here we are in New York, and if I zoom in on that, we've got right here, demos page for Zoe, my videos, Zam link. We can actually show you what happened. And I keep a close eye on a lot of Zamtistics for a lot of talent, not on their behalf. I'm just interested in what the industry is doing. And some folks, I'll tell you, they have tons of pins on the map. They're just getting their demos out there. And I want to mention that about VoiceZam. VoiceZam won't work for you unless you use it. I mean, it's not a tool that just brings in everything. I'll show you one thing that you set up once and it works for you from then on, but it really is a tool in the tool bag. It's like a hammer. You got to take it out and hammer things. And so it's not hard, and we show you how to do it, but it is a marketing tool that you need to apply. All right. Okay, well, I would have, quickly here. This is some old data, but I thought I'd show it to you. All these, this is actually a live session that happened out. I came across this one day. Now, it's on the higher end of the curve of what you'll see. But somebody lasted for 4 minutes and 18 seconds. They listened to 27 different reads in 4 demos. Well, that's unheard of in the industry because you're putting out 1-minute demos. Here they stayed on that player. And if you look, they went to narration, first at narration, then they went to commercial and explainer video. So it was cross-selling all your voices to whoever this person was. I cut off the city and state on here, I guess, for room. I don't recall where it was. Okay, new question. I frequently send emails with demo files as attachments. Do you do that? Well, the answer is you shouldn't. Never mind an email of your MP3. Never send an email of your MP3s. Producers do not like them unless they first ask you for it. As a courtesy, please don't send those out. Well, then how do we get them out? Good question. We use something called Straight Shot. Straight Shot is a passive marketing tool that will get your demos in front of producers' ears and eyes. Now, I'm going to show you a demo of that. Let's bring up the VoiceZam inbox. And I'm going to skip some of the details here. Let's say, let me first tell you what it is. Okay, if I go to my, let's see if I can move this zoom back. Oh, good. So I'm going to go to, I'm in my Gmail, live Gmail. I'm going to go to my settings, and I'm going to go all the way down. Well, that's not where I want to be. I always make this mistake. Sorry, folks. Hang on. This is where I want to be. Okay. I have set myself up a signature. And forget all this. I just use this for quick demonstration. This is my signature. Click to hear my latest demos, commercial, narration, documentary, audio, Joey Speaky, blah, blah, blah. And this is how you set up Straight Shot. And here's what Straight Shot is. Straight Shot is a way, VoiceZam allows you to quickly create these buttons that when people click on them, it's going to go to your website. And you set this up once. So let me demonstrate that. I said that real fast, and because I'm going to demonstrate it too. So I sent out an email with a Straight Shot signature on it. And this is it. Somebody received it, and it looks like this. And you can see I'm jumping ahead here because I didn't want to go through all the steps. So, I'm Steve. Dear Steve, Lormus, and blah, blah, blah. Sincerely, Joey. Click to hear my latest demos. My latest demos, well, I'm working on a documentary. He clicks the button, Steve does. Goes
Rheumatoid
to your website,
arthritis.
jumps to the documentary demo, and plays it. So think about what just happened. We're going to talk about the 3 steps of vetting in a second. But in one click, it went to your website and it played that demo. Why is that important? Well, you only set it up once, and from that point on, every email you send out is a marketing missile because you never know where emails are going to end up. Well, they're all going to end up in the NSA, but for now, they're being forwarded, they're being replied to, and so it's marketing 24/7 on your behalf, and all you're doing is sending emails out. Okay, let me show you why this is important. I mean, if that's not important enough, I'll show you even why it is important. Producers will go through 3 essential steps of booking, and I know this for sure. First of all, they want to vet your voice. They're going to listen to your voice. At stage 1, it isn't, I mean, unless you're a celeb, okay? If you're Cipriano or Ratner, of course they're going to want to hire you because you are who you are. But for the blue collar, white collar working VO, your voice is the first step into their door. And I have to caution you about putting pictures on your website and bio on your website and all these things around your demo that they don't care about at step 1. And until they get to step 2, they're not going to want to see that stuff. So you got to get them past their voice. So put your demos on your website and let them hear your voice. And now that you've got them in the door that your voice can work for your project, then they will vet you. And what do I mean by that? Maybe they want to see your picture, maybe not. But they'll learn about you. What qualifications do you have? What equipment do you have? What level of production have you worked in so that they know that you're not going to embarrass them in front of their client if they have to pull you into the session. So they're vetting you. If you get past that, then they want to contact you, okay? So knowing that, when we went to Joey's website here with this click, when they click, we take care of the first step. We get them to your voice under that category. They haven't had to go, digging around for you. There they are. There are your voices right in front of them. Now they like your voice. Well, they go to your about and they look at you. And if they're done, they can contact you here or go to your own web space contact. That's how we solve this 3-step vetting with this cool little tool called Straight Shot. And all you have to do is set it up once, and it works for you from then on. Okay, we also have video, and I'll just give you a quick demonstration, and then we got to move on. So video is cool. It's important.
If you want someone to leave you alone, you pretend like you're sleeping. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more.
We also do Vimeo.
When Missouri companies complain that
to load into VoiceZam, and you get Zamtistics on it, so all that's built into VideoZam. And by the way, all we do is link into your YouTube and Vimeo accounts, so it's easy if you have those already established. Okay, online pricing. For the sake of time, I might skip this, but I'll show you where to find it. So if we go to VoiceZam, so here's voicezam.com, click on pricing. Here's the base premium. This tells you, oh, it's unlimited, unlimited demos, unlimited reads, unlimited players. All the players have to look the same, but you can stage them on as many web pages as you want. So it's all unlimited. Upload as many as you want. And then we have Zamtistics. You looked at that. Straight Shot, you looked at that, where you get the buttons in your signature. Video Zam, you looked at that. And Zam Fusion, we haven't talked about. You can look it up on YouTube. It's a audition response tool that's very, very cool and totally geared for VO. All right. I think I'm just about done. Okay, Q&A. If there's any questions, I am ready, Graham.
Wow, it helps if I unmute myself first.
You're hearing your voice.
It's funny, Bob, as you know, I've been a subscriber to your product for a couple of years now, at least. And every time I watch you go through one of these presentations, it's like, damn, I'm not using this to even a 20th of its capabilities. And every time I realize just, wow, this is so powerful. Why am I not using this better? Anyway, there's been several questions that I've kind of posed to you as we were moving on through. Joe, our friend Joe Lesh, wanted to pipe in and say that he loves his player, and the additional features you keep coming out with, it just keeps getting better and better. So, really, really useful stuff.
Well, he ain't seen nothing yet. Probably the first quarter, we've got a whole list of cool features coming out.
Now, with the video product that you have, are you finding that there are some on-camera actors who are using the product as well? Are you targeting on-camera?
Not at this point, but yes, we do have people who cross over, or I don't know if we do exclusive on camera. Let me think about that. We've even had people who do motion graphics, that sort of thing. Have a look at it. The interesting thing about video for voiceover, and I'll just state this real quick. The first thing you'll think is, well, why is the video so small in the player? Well, if you're a voiceover artist, you kind of want the video to be small, because if the producer sees the interesting video, they're going to be thinking, oh, why was the lighting like that? And why did he block them like that? And then they'll go off into YouTube, hell, and start watching rabbits on skateboards and stuff. And so that's why we keep them focused on your voice versus send them into a great big video montage.
Fantastic. I'm just looking. There was another question that I wanted to pose.
Steve, while you're doing that, Graham, let me show one little thing which won't take long.
Please.
I'm going to go to. This is actually quite amazing. I'm going to go to VoiceOver. Okay, I'm on Google, right? VoiceOver, female mom curing. Okay, so this is Google page 1. All I said was VoiceOver female mom curing. So this is the voice of Barbara. Well, let's look at the voice of Barbara. Hey, look, it's the VoiceZam player. Okay. Let's look at Christy Bowen. Look again. It's the VoiceZam player. As soon as it comes in, there it is. So what's happening? This is VoiceZam people. This is VoiceZam people. This is VoiceZam people. What's happening is Google has given us the authority, for some reason, to drill into our demo player and pick up the SEO terminology that are on each of these reads. And with that authority, then, they say, well, because they typed in VoiceOver female mom caring, these people have authoritative results to give good results to the searcher, to the person doing the search. let me show you how that was set up, okay? We have something called tagging, all right? You can see this, right, Graham, I'm assuming?
Yes, sir.
So I add a tag, and I'll just put this mom, caring. So I'm a female, and I listened to this read, and I said, it's kind of a caring mom. We add voiceover, we add female. Just by doing that, she ended up on page 1 of Google. So we've done, this is have been in development for 2 years, and it's absolutely free right now because we're still kind of making sure it's settled in properly. So if you want to start using tagging, have at it. It's free of charge. And tell us what results you get. So far, we're getting some pretty good results with that. And of course, I've cherry picked one of the best ones, but try it yourself. Try voiceover male or voiceover female. Come up with some, conversational or promo or anything, and see how many people are on VoiceZam. And I'll tell you this: not too many of our clients are. I bet Graham wasn't aware of this. Maybe he was.
Well, I was, only because you had shown it to me when I saw you at VO Atlanta.
Right.
Steven's asking the question then, Bob, given your experience with what you just told us about, what are the tags that seem to be the most prevalent? What are the ones that you would recommend that people attach? Or is that like the secret sauce?
Well, here's the problem. If I give you a set of tags and I put that public, then everybody's using them, then they're not secret anymore and nobody wins. The secret tags are: be honest and truthful. Listen to your reads. Maybe have, if you're working with Edge, which is a great place to work with to build your career, maybe have someone at Edge look at them, listen to them, and give you those. Google is smart. And of course, I don't think they're going to take these tags and match it to this. But if you want to tick somebody off, use tags that don't match this because you're trying to load the system. Just be honest and sincere. If it's conversational, say it's conversational. If it's funny or amusing or, say that.
Yeah, Google has an amazing way of figuring out who's trying to game the system.
Oh, yes, they do.
Yeah, they're pretty smart out there in Silicon Valley.
They are. Absolutely. On the other hand, I think they're pretty smart at figuring out who's bringing value to the marketplace.
Totally agree.
So I think I'm very honored to know that they've elevated our authority in such a way that we can present people on page 1.
Marjorie asks the question, do you have meta tags in your player for SEO like what you just showed on Google? I think it's one and the same thing, isn't it?
It is. That's the secret sauce. I mean, somebody could figure it out, but I'd rather not demonstrate that to give people a head start.
Right.
Yeah. If you think about it, those tags you enter have to end up somewhere so Google can pick them up. The main thing is they need to pick them up on your website. And so that involves the player. So enough said.
Okay. I think that you pretty much just explained it without explaining it. So thank you for that.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Well, does anyone have any last minute questions? We're just 3 minutes after 3:00, but we started a minute or two late. So let's we'll leave the chat box open for just another few moments to see if anyone types in a last minute question.
Well, in the meantime, let me jump in. I want to thank you thank you to Edge Studio for having me. Yeah, as you can tell, I love talking about my product. And I just see the stuff that's coming down the line. I see the success of it and how people are using it and how it's helping them. I also see what's coming. It's always really exciting because I love cool things and I love this industry. Voice over people are some of the hardest working people in the world. They need to wear so many hats. They need to, they live in a vacuum and they need to keep encouraging themselves and motivating themselves. And I just think the world of them. By the way, there's a promo code for Edge. Just say Edge45 if you sign up for VoiceZam. That gives you a 45-day free trial versus 15 days. So take it for a spin, get some jobs off of it, and then quit. No, I'm just kidding. But we'll give you 45 days, and I thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Well, Bob, that, I think that you and David Goldberg from Edge talked about this well over 10 years ago. And we've been watching with, with a lot of, applauding quietly in the background as you've been able to make the product better and better, and you've been getting traction in the marketplace, because we all think that this is the way demos are going to go in the future, and we want you to be successful. So we're so glad that you were able to spend some time talking with some of our folks today, and this video will be available on YouTube as well, so we'll make sure that it reaches a wider audience. One last question. Patrick was asking, you're talking about some great new features coming up in Q1. Will there be any grandfathering of pricing, or do you see people, if they come in at the $9.95 level pricing now, that they will be able to maintain that price in the future?
Well, I guess he's assuming that prices will go up with the new edition.
I think that's the thought, is that you're going to add a bunch of new features and it goes to $39.95 or something.
Yeah, and that brings up a good point. Everything's been a la carte that we've ever added. The $8.95 has never gone up, but we are shifting our pricing. I can't talk too much about it, but we're going to packages. So instead of the a la carte is confusing, so you don't see that type of pricing too much on software on web services out there. And so what we're doing is packages. So you'll have the, I don't know what you call it, the bronze package, and then the silver package, and so a lot of these things will be packaged together from what we can see as desirable packages based on usages of all these a la carte services. So that'll be the shift. That pricing hasn't been established yet, and we're still working on that. And if you want to lose sleep and have nightmares as a software professional, start tampering with all your pricing and software. And
well,
so it's a lot of fun. We wanted it to come out a lot sooner, but we got to dot every I and cross every T. So that's coming, and there'll be big announcements about that. I'm going to keep the pricing fair. I think VoiceZam's always been very fair for the value we give you. So look for that. That will be coming in the next, 2 or 3 months.
Well, Steven says that the prices as you just presented them look pretty reasonable. So I'm sure if you are going to continue to, add more features and come up with kind of bundled pricing of the most popular features, that it's going to be that much better a deal for those of us who are actors. One last question from Marjorie is you're doing a live meetup tonight, right? At Edge Studio in New York. I
certainly am, at 6 p.m.
Fantastic. And are you going to cover a lot of the same information tonight, or is tonight mostly just about let's get together and have a pop and have kind of an open Q&A?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. I wasn't planning on a formal presentation. What I was planning on is if people have specific questions, or maybe a group of people want me to demonstrate something specific, or even current VoiceZam members who have questions about how to do something, I'm just available as much time as you want, anytime you want. And I'm just going to be hanging out and rubbing shoulders and having whatever we have, and pizza and cookies, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Fantastic, Bob. Listen, thank you so much for joining us. And I can tell you folks that Bob has a sterling reputation when it comes to support for VoiceZam members. I mean, he guarantees like 24-hour turnaround and stuff, but that guarantee is irrelevant because inevitably he does it in an hour. So, I mean, I can't find anyone who doesn't have fabulous things to say about the personal hands-on support that Bob is able to provide his subscribers. So,
well, thank you very much. And the reason for that is I love talking to clients because it gives me a sense of what you folks are fighting. Where are your barriers? And by talking to you specifically and hearing those details, then I can create tools to help ease your pain as well. And that gives me the most gratification, knowing that your business has been helped by my business.
Bob, again, thank you so much. Everyone, this has been Edge Live. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon on YouTube. And we will be making this video available if you want to mention it to some of your friends who you think might benefit from having a closer look at the VoiceZam platform. Make sure that you tell them that they should head to the Edge Studio YouTube channel. So have a great afternoon, everybody. Book lots of work, and we're looking forward to speaking with you again soon. Bob, thanks again.
Thanks again, Graham. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.